I want you to watch this clip of Jon Stewart, American Jewish talk show host. He's very much on the far progressive side. He's got a very critical view of Israel. But he is Jewish nonetheless. And here he is talking a bit about Trump saying that Harris doesn't like Jews because she's can be quite hostile to Israel. And then Stewart says something that I found to be quite revealing about his own Jewish identity. May have been a joke, but have a watch.
She doesn't like Jewish people.
Join the club. We're getting crushed out there. Right now, I'm not even sure how much we like ourselves. It's not like the old Seinfeld days when we were riding high, you know, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
This is so interesting to me. There are some in the Jewish community, in the pro-Israel community, that find that people that have positions that are so hostile to Israel, that are so indulgent in Israel's enemies' narratives, that believe the lies that Israel doesn't really have the rights to land. They think there is some kind of original sin of Israel being there, and that the displacement that occurred of the Arabs in 48 occurred primarily because of Israel, and not because the surrounding Arab armies told them to leave, and not appreciating that there would have never been any displacement had they actually just accepted a partition of the land, and that there never was a Palestinian state and all those things. And they very much dismiss that, and they very much indulge in the lies and the nonsense and the smears against Israel. And some in the Jewish community, in the pro-Israel community, feel that what's going on here is actually a form of self-hatred, Jewish self-hatred. And people like Stewart, no doubt, typically would dismiss that. And they'd say, no, that's not what's going on. It's just these are the facts. These are what we need to be doing in order to support morality. And there he just says in that clip, I'm not so sure how much we even like ourselves. I don't know who he's referring to, but I certainly feel passionately in support of my fellow Jews and the Jewish people and the state of Israel. This was a bit of a Freudian slip, as they say, I think. Some may just dismiss it as a joke, but was it a joke? I'm not so sure how much we even like ourselves. In some ways, I think this was a bit of a revealing moment to show that actually there's a bit of internalized shame, humiliation, and when you start to feel that way about your people, you start to want to do things to appease the other side, appease the enemy, and indulge in their lies and nonsense. This is so interesting, and I really would welcome everyone's comments here. I heard a great analysis of the way Jews have responded to anti-Semitism over the years, and it's sort of split into three categories. And the comparison made was to a abused spouse or abused partner in a relationship. So the abused partner has three responses they can choose. Number one is to fight back, to leave, to stand up for themselves, to do what they need to do. Second option is to simply become passive, to check out emotionally, to become apathetic, to dissolve their identity really. And the third option, the most sinister in the way, or the most tragic, is when you end up justifying the actions of your abused spouse. And sadly, we do see this occur often. And it seems that there are people who, and perhaps there's some extent to which we have to feel sympathy for such people, that betray their own people, betray the Jewish people, to side with their enemies, to side with the narratives that are trying to undermine their people. They're doing it maybe from a sense of that internalized, abused spouse that wants to just justify everything they're doing to make themselves, that the spouse is doing to make themselves feel safe. Sadly, we saw a bit of this in World War II. You had Jews who were on the tracks to Auschwitz who were saying, "Oh no, the Nazis are sensible. There's got to be something. They couldn't be that evil. What they're doing. They can't be." Well, yes, they can. And the other thing that Rabbi Manis Friedman pointed out in a video where we spoke about self-hatred, and maybe I'll post a link to that in the comment section so you can watch this discussion where we talked about it. But the other thing to point out is that they actually think that when they side with their enemies and show them, look, well, I'm part of the Free Palestine Brigade, that somehow that will appease them, or that will make them feel safe and welcome. And Rabbi Friedman pointed out, actually, they, seeing a Jew betray their own people, they're not going to increase their respect for such a person. It actually decreases their respect for them and makes them feel, actually, I don't even think I can trust you because you're going to prepare to betray your own people. It's quite a powerful point that not that many people give thought to, but it seems to me that actually so much of what's going on here is psychological, rather than a question of actually what's right and what's wrong. So much of people like Stewart and others, what they say and do is based on psychological games. And we need to shift away from that. We need to shift away instead towards simply asking, what is right, what is wrong, what is false, and what is true. Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.